want to make sure it's getting recorded before we hop right in, but okay, perfect. So we're recording. Okay, so let's jump right in. So I have been so excited to do this since I asked you. I have been following Autumn since the beginning, I think. I don't, like, one way or another, we became Facebook friends, and I feel like we've been Facebook friends forever. So I remember seeing you go Ruby, and just, like, from there on, and you have grown so much as a leader, and I feel like we have so much to learn from you. And not only are you, like, a great leader, and, like, you've grown into that role, you're also someone who enrolls. Like, you run your business like a total boss, and I'm in awe of you all the time. So I'm so excited to kind of pick your brain. So you can kind of just jump right in with, like, your story, like where you were at before It Works. What was that kind of, like, pull that, like, kind of made you decide, I have to try this, and what has the company done for you so far?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. So yes, hi guys. My name is Autumn Westfall, and I'm a Double Diamond leader. And I found this business about a year and a half ago. Um, you know, I it's so funny telling my story because every single time I think I learn a little bit more about myself and where I was at before this company, and especially going, forward in this company, I realize how blessed I am to be a part of it. But before this company, I watched my upline Erin for a whole year, more than 365 days. So I had previously, just a little bit about me, I had previously been in a multi-level marketing company before, spent a lot of money on inventory and was not successful. I came from a really small town. I was a college dropout. I got pregnant at 19 years old, and I was not married. And I honestly found myself in one of the darkest positions that I'd ever been in my whole life. And everything happened very fast. We were financially struggling, to say the least. We had been living in Charlotte. We had an apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just remember watching this cute little blonde girl on social media. And I had a very, very tough pregnancy. When I became pregnant, I knew that I was going to have a tough pregnancy, and it took a really hard toll on my body. I had to quit the office jobs that I was working at the time, and my husband was working an insurance sales job at the time. And I moved to a new city. Charlotte was not where I was originally from. I'm from a very small town, and I was so depressed because I didn't have any friends. I was on bed rest. I never got to see my husband. And I was about to welcome a baby girl, which I was so unsure about, by the way. I was just so young, and our relationship was just so brand new, and I just really didn't know what to think. And on top of all of that, we could barely pay for groceries. We could barely pay for rent. And we were barely making it. And what the sad part about all of this is that I would cry on the kitchen floor, not knowing how we were going to pay for rent and not knowing how we were going to pay for groceries. And I still thought that was normal. I thought it was normal for us to be struggling. I thought it was normal for me to never see my husband. I thought it was normal for us to just be so stressed out. I just thought that was just the way it was going to be. And I thought there was no other way, especially since I was a college dropout. I thought that there just wasn't any other way. And this cute little blonde girl kept messaging me on social media. And I told her no so many times. I told her no. I just kept slamming the door in her face, just saying, no, please stop. Take me off your list. Like, I don't think that this is for me. Like, please stop bothering me. I don't want to be part of it. There were multiple times where I was in a better mood and I would ask her a little bit more about it. And so over the course of the year, I guess I learned a little bit about it. And I remember I was very, very pregnant at this point. I remember sitting in my apartment, and it was the day that she went Ambassador Diamond. And I just cried and cried and cried. And I looked at her posts, and she had gone, it was before live videos. So it was a video of her checking her e-suite, which I didn't know what that was back then, but she went Ambassador Diamond, and everybody was crying. Everybody was so happy. And I just remember looking at that pure joy and not really knowing what that was like anymore. Like, I hadn't felt that in a really long time. I just started crying, and I looked up what an Ambassador Diamond made, and I immediately dropped to the floor, and I said, God, if she can do this, let me do this. And I still was not sure at that moment in time. A few weeks later, my husband got a call from the NFL, and we packed up everything and our little apartment. And my daughter was just a few weeks old at this moment. And can you imagine how scary that is, by the way? Packing up everything and just leaving to go to Florida. We didn't even know where we were going to live. And we packed up everything we paid to get out of our rent. And we moved to Florida for an opportunity. We didn't know if it was going to work out or not. And literally within a week, within 5 days, we got everything out of our apartment. And I flew down to Florida with my 4-week-old baby. She had just turned a month old. And we stayed in an extended stay America. And this little room that was smaller, the whole place that we had was smaller than the room that I'm in. It was 2 little beds and a stand-up shower that we could barely fit in, and 2 little stove burners, like a sink, and a kitchen table that had a place for 2. And I sit back and I think of that. And I don't know if that's not a reason enough that you have to stay in an extended stay America for 4 months out of your life, trying to figure out what the heck you're doing with a newborn baby. I don't know what more could have happened to me that it wasn't like a sign from God saying, look, I've been trying to knock on your door all this time. Please listen to me. And those 4 months went by, and I don't know, y'all. We went through some really, really hard times, and times that I questioned my faith, times that I questioned why this was happening to me. And I just had hope, and I had faith that the NFL would work out, because I didn't have faith in myself that I could do this. And my husband got done with training. He went back to our hometown. He got an offer for the Panthers, and that lasted for about 3 weeks. And everybody thinks, oh, your husband played for the NFL. It must have been so nice. Must have been a lot of money. I remember what it was like being in that extended stay America and not having money for groceries and literally living off nothing and feeling unsafe all the time with a newborn baby, not being near my family. It was one of the hardest times of my whole life. And we got back home, and he got cut from the Panthers, and we just looked at each other like, crap, what are we going to do now? This was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be it. We moved into my parents' home. We had nothing. We didn't have a house. We had no jobs at this point. We had no savings. We had just spent it all moving to Florida. He could have gone to a different team, but he didn't want to drag his family across the United States with a newborn baby. We decided as a family that we would try to go back to my mom's house and look for jobs. After multiple days of stress, we just couldn't find anything. We ended up taking little tiny office jobs just to help my parents out with groceries. And if it weren't for my parents, we would have not had anywhere to go. And I don't know, I just remember sitting in my bed, because it was the room that I grew up in, and my child was sitting in a pack and play. Didn't even have room for her up there in this room, and she was asleep. And I just remember crying. Y'all, I had so many tears this whole year that I was watching Aaron, but I cried and I cried and I cried. Just so scared. I didn't know what to do, and I just looked at him and I was like, what about it works? And he was like, you mean the thing that you've been talking to that girl about on social media? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, we're going to find out, because I'm going to call her and we're going to talk about it. And I said, if we can just make enough money, $300, $400 to get us back on our feet until we can find better jobs, that's all we need. And we went back downstairs the next morning and we talked to Aaron. I got all the details, and we did not have the $99 to join. We had no money. We had negative $18.54 in our bank account. And I sold 4 wraps that same day. And I asked my mom for $100. And she was so disappointed in me. She thought that I was, I don't know, throwing it away or something. And I told her, Mom, if you give me this $100, I'll never borrow $100 again from you ever again, and I will pay your bills with this company. I don't even know if this company works, but I'm going to find a way. And she told me, I'll give you this $100, but I don't think you're making the right decision for your family, and I do not think you'll be successful. And my heart was broken. Like, I didn't even have tears at that point because my heart was so broken that she would say something like that to me. But that's how, even though she believed in me all of my life, she still did not believe in this company. And I just put my head down and I said, we both got signed up. And my first month, I worked so hard, and we both went Ruby, and we both earned a $500 bonus and earned each $1,400 each that first month. And I looked at Hunter and I said, hold on, we're about to make a lot of money doing this. And I just said, believe in me. Like, somebody just believe in me. Like, we can do this. And our fourth month, I worked so hard to go diamond. Like, I lost so much sleep. My child would never sleep. I drove around in my car so that she would take a nap, and I worked off McDonald's Wi-Fi to send messages because I didn't know what else to do. And I went diamond my fourth month, and we earned a $5,000 bonus, and we moved out of my parents' home, and we quit our office job. And that was just like a defining moment in my whole life. I finally found something that I cared about, something that I could do, something I was good at. And then we worked, doing work. In our seventh month, we went double diamond and earned a $40,000 bonus. And we're working on triple diamond now. So our whole lives have completely changed. We've paid off debt. We've traveled. We're stay-at-home parents. We both work from home with our daughter. And now we're looking for our home that we're going to spend, 15, 20 years in. So we're so blessed. And this company has given us more than I could ever imagine. But mostly what this company has given me back is my faith in God. Didn't know. So yeah, a lot has happened in the year and a half that I've been in the company, but mostly just my relationship with God is what it's given me back, and the ability to dream. So yeah, I get teary-eyed every single time I talk about my story because it's crazy.
You should. It's amazing. It's like one of the more powerful ones and I feel so connected to it because I've watched you, and I can tell you, like, I can feel the weight of your journey. Like when I read your posts and stuff and just seeing you go through it, like it's a big deal. Like when you said that you had two little like stovetop burners, and then I think about the live videos of you cooking, and I'm like drooling, and you've just got this nice kitchen, and you're just like chefing it up, and I'm like, look, it's incredible. It's amazing. You've come so far. It's so cool. So what were some of those things? Because getting started in this business, like you said, like no one had an ounce of faith in you. So what were some of those things there at the beginning that you had to overcome? Like mindset, what fears did you have?
So I look at the woman that I was before this company, and I see somebody who was very weak and not mentally tough, and somebody that's very vulnerable, and somebody who was very unsure in her heart and her soul, and didn't really have a purpose in life because I had never been told that I could have one. And immediately when I found out that I could change people's life with this business, I just told myself, I'm going to prove every single one of you wrong, and I'm going to change a lot of lives on the way. And I told myself, if I can just help some people make at least $100 and $200, I will feel so good about myself. I will feel so good. And I finally found my purpose. And that's what I tell people all the time when they start with fear and they start with worry. Just know that every single person who joins this business, it's not easy, and it never is something that people just do. It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot, and especially if you're pursuing this, if you want to become a diamond, you want to become a double diamond, you want to be at a higher level, I think that the things that you have to overcome is completely mental. And I, tell people, you just think about the reason why you want this so bad, and just imagine that you're blind, and imagine that everything around you is so dark, and you can't see anything, and immediately your senses are you can hear more, you're scared, you're worried, your chest is getting tight. Are you going to care about what the other people are thinking of you and saying of you and talking bad about you if there was a cure to see again? No, you're not going to care. You're not going to care. So I tell people all the time, I tell my new girls, when you're worried and you're scared of, what is to come. And you're scared that you're not going to be successful. You're fearful that you're not going to be able to do this, and you feel weak and you feel scared. Your chest is tight. You're shaking. And you're like, why can't I get over myself? Like, it's a couple messages. Like, it's a couple posts. Just think about that. When you're worried about what other people are going to think of you and what you're thinking about, just bothering people or being annoying, or people who say mean things and say that you're not going to be successful, just think about that. Just close your eyes and imagine if you could not see, and just tell yourself, if I could get to my reason why I want to do this business, think about it. Ask yourself why 5 times and say, if I could get to that why, and I could be there in that moment, and I could feel everything. I could see that paycheck. I could see my family's life change. I could get out of this house. I could not live paycheck to paycheck. And if you could get there, you just close your eyes and imagine that. Wouldn't you do it? There was a cure to be not blind anymore. You would do it without whatever the haters are saying, whatever people are being mean and saying to you. So the way that I overcame that is just to look at the reason why I joined. And I wanted nothing more than to change other people's lives than to be able to be home with my child. So I just tell people, keep your why at the forefront of your business and pray to God every day.
Yes, I think that you just touched on exactly, like, you just hit the nail on the head with most of everyone's fears. Like, they're just afraid of being rejected. They're afraid of annoying people. They're afraid of just being that person. And it's like, that's it. You have to, I know for me coming into the business, my why wasn't something I had to work on. I waited, you waited a year, I waited 15 months. But for some people, you've got to just make sure when you're first getting started that you solidify that and that you keep it, like you said, at the forefront of your business. I love that. So now I want to talk a little bit about that killer month you had back in March. We were both chasing our promotions that month, and you signed 73 loyal customers and 14 distributors that month or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So now I remember because I shared my own personal product testimony that month, and I will attribute that to going diamonds. Becoming a product of the product is what really, really helped me. And it opened so many different doors in my business. And I know that you shared your personal weight loss journey around the same time. So how did becoming a product of the product help your business?
Well, I never let that not being a product of the product ever be an option for me. I really understood that there was a model to this business, and the fact that I was supposed to run an 80 BV auto shipment was part of the plan. And people had done this already. People have already seen what doesn't work. They've already fixed that. So I told myself, even if I don't have the money, I'm going to sell some wraps. I'm going to get my $80 auto shipment here. I'm going to try the products. I had previously tried the whole system before I joined the company, after I had Charlotte. So I had a really awesome time to share results. But the thing was, you have to get over your thoughts there a little bit, because let's just say, are you going to go get your eyebrows done by somebody who has really bad eyebrows? No. Are you going to get your hair done by somebody who has really, really bad hair? No. So that's the same thing with health and wellness products. And I think it's even more so with health and wellness products, because they want to see that you're on your own journey. They want to see that. They want to see that you're using the products daily. They don't want to see you copying and pasting somebody else's status, or you using some picture that's been floating around with every single distributor that's on their timeline. They don't want that. They want to see you. They want to see real results. And the thing is, I also, that month that I signed those 73 loyal customers, I got really vulnerable, and I shared result pictures that I wasn't comfortable sharing. And I never showed them before, but I did that month because I had to think outside the box there. And I think that it's just a whole different game when you're showing your own results and your own personal testimony. I mean, you're the billboard for your business. You are the face of it. And believe it or not, people think, oh, well, it works as a whole as a business. No, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to let somebody tell me that I'm the same distributor that didn't tell them about their auto shipment and they hate it works for it. I'm completely different than that. So you've got to let people know that your business is completely different than all the other distributors on their timeline. I tell people all the time, watch me for 6 months. Let me know if I'm different. And if they honestly can tell me that I'm not different, then I was like, I owe it to you. You don't have to join with me if you think that I'm not different. I let people know I'm I am unique. I have a way of running my team, and I recommend to everybody, use the products, create, the culture that you want for you and you want for your team. And then everything else is going to fall into place.
Yep, I agree with it so much. Get that itty bitty auto. I mean, it's there for a reason. Your auto shipment is there for a reason. And like when I finally buckled down and I got serious with products and then I shared my results that month, it's just people, you gain a whole new sense. They gain a whole new sense of trust with you. They just trust what you're talking about. And it becomes like, it takes that bit of fear out of it when you're messaging people about it. And you don't have to like pretend to be excited. Like you're excited because you saw this work and you want to see it work on other people. It's like a whole different ball game once you know what you're talking about and you can be quick on your feet about it and really like help people with it. I love that. So it's so great. All right. So the next question I have for you is, right now in your business, it's kind of like a two-part question. How are you building your network? Like what's your most effective way of opening up your network right now? And how are you getting names on your potentials list? So you're opening up that network, but how are you turning those people into potentials?
So I have a few different ways that I'm doing it now. I think that this business completely does come in seasons. So you can't keep doing the same thing. Like, yeah, in March, having people post for me was working really well. But then I noticed maybe it wasn't working as well and I needed to change something up. The thing is, with this business, you continue to learn. If you're not continuing to learn, you need to open your mind a little bit more. But I'm learning every single day. And especially with watching Zooms and talking to other leaders, I really recommend just talking with other people. Like today, I had a FaceTime with another Double Diamond leader, and I like literally jotted down like 5 different things that I wasn't doing and I'd never thought of. And I just want to say that things do change all the time. So let's just say that if you've been doing something for 3 months and you're like, why am I not getting anywhere? It's because you need to change what you're doing. And it's not that whatever you're doing is bad. It's just that something else needs to happen. So right now, I currently have been having a lot more wrap appointments and a lot more parties. I really made an effort about a few months ago. I'm really in my slow season with the holidays around. And so I decided, I'm going to have to get the wrap on people. I felt like after the 1099 promotion, maybe a lot of my potentials list went away. And I felt like the best way to grow my potentials list is not only adding on my network via Facebook and Instagram, but also just not only telling people, but actually putting the wrap on a body and letting them see the results by themselves. I've had 4 or 5 parties, and I think that I've left with, I think my average party when I sign is about 400 BV in product, and I always leave with a potential distributor or I sign one. And with that, I'm connecting with every single person on Facebook. They're watching me more. And I always am able to get loyal customers because they feel the wrap, they feel it tingling on them, and they feel the warmth, and they're like, okay, I see. And I really think the biggest thing, I went to Nashville boot camp, and I think that was a defining moment for me that I had to reach outside of social media. And it's okay. If you're listening to this and you're like, holy crap, I do not want to do wrap parties. I don't want to do wrap appointments. Maybe you're not at that point in your business. Maybe, you do want to work social media and you have a fresh market. That's amazing. I was doing that. But right now, I think the biggest way that I'm growing my market is actual wrap appointments and getting wrap parties. Now, from the wrap parties, I'm getting referrals. So I give them a free wrap if they, bring me 4 or 5 people to talk to. And I have been doing this party thing where, and if you're not into parties, this might not apply to you, but I set a timer for 10 minutes, and the person who there's a sheet and it has it's numbered 1 through 25. The people who fill out all 25 get a free wrap. It's $25, and it's their phone number and their name, and they're allowing me to reach out with them and say, hey, Judy gave me your name and number. I'm just looking for a few people to host a party. And I'm getting a lot of potentials off of that. Now, with social media, I feel like I've been really trying to work on Instagram more because Instagram is not my thing. But here lately, I've noticed that if you tag other locations, that a lot of people from different locations follow you. And it's pretty awesome. So I can just literally go onto my photo from like a week ago and tag a different location and it'll pop up again. And I'll find all these people that live in Atlanta, Georgia. I just went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I literally got like 25 followers, and I'm connecting with 2 of them. I have a FaceTime like next week with one of them. So, you know, I love to network. Like, I love to do geotagging. Like, I love to like look at certain things. Like, let's just say that you went to Disney World. This is just a big example. You went to Disney World last week. You click on Disney World and you see all the people who have tagged Disney World. Like, go connect, go connect, go connect, go connect. And I never pull from my suggested friends list ever, or my suggested follow, because Facebook and Instagram is putting you in that like pool with them. So that's the ways that I'm like currently getting my potentials, and I'm currently like pulling them into my 100s list.
Awesome. I think that is amazing. I know our team is huge on social media, and like me especially, like I need to take some party tips and I need to get out there because I can feel you're right. Like if it's a really scary thing for you, maybe you're just not there yet, but yeah. I'm one of those people that like I'm there and I need to like get out there, but it takes a good amount of courage. Like I wonder too, like, how are you getting, like aside from the people who are referring other people that might want to host a party, how are you just messaging people and saying, hey, would you want to host it? Would you want to do a party? Or like, how are you doing that?
Wine.
Stop it.
No, I am. I call it a sip and sample party. Okay. And I just offer to bring 4 or 5 bottles of wine and a lot of snacks. And I say, I just want to talk to your girlfriends about, you know, this amazing product. And you're going to get to try free wrap if you bring me 5 people. And
that's the most genius thing I've ever heard. And it's so simple. And it's like one of those things that's duplicatable. You know, which one of us can't grab a bottle of wine off our counter and say, hey, like, let's get together and just give me your ear. Just give me your ear, because you're right. If you're building your business, you know, if you're using that attraction marketing and you're really putting thought into what you're posting and into building your business, like if you can just get them to watch you, then you've got them, you know?
Yeah. And I like, there's part of me that's like super professional. Like I like to have a PowerPoint slide and I want them to know every single bullet point. And I like, yeah, not with parties. Okay. People, they are scared of that for some reason. So I literally pop the bottle, pour everybody a glass of wine. I say, get you a plate. We're going to go sit in the living room. I sat between 2 of my potentials. I literally was sandwiched on the couch. I didn't stand up and talk. I literally was like, y'all, you have to try the greens. How's that wrap feeling? Like, let's get you on some Convianza because we know you need it.
This sounds like I could do it. See, like this sounds like so it's duplicatable. It's simple. I love that. So once you've got them on your potentials list, how are you sealing that deal? So once they become a potential, they've shown the interest, what are a couple of your like surefire ways to just seal that deal?
My surefire way is to get them on the phone or FaceTime. And people are always telling me, oh, I have the hardest time getting people on the phone. And I always think to myself, yeah, you're going to have a few people who are hard to get on the phone. But are you being 100% confident in yourself, and are you wording it as if your time is valuable too? And so I always remember to, when I'm asking people to get on the phone with me, it sounds like they're about to get a job interview and that they should be glad that I'm asking them to get on the phone. So what I do is I'm like, okay, Chelsea, I know that you've been interested. I have a slot open for this week, either Thursday or Friday. What time works for you? I'm going to go ahead and pencil it in. It's only going to take 20 minutes. It's just to see if this is a better fit for you, or if this is going to be a good fit for you. And I always like potential distributors, get them on a FaceTime. It not only creates that, you know, sense of I know you more, but you get to hear why they want to join the business. And ain't nobody going to get out of joining this business when they tell me they want to, or they tell me why. And so I just hold that little why over their head. And I'm like, but don't you want a better Christmas? But don't you really want to be in a better house? Don't you want to start living not paycheck to paycheck? And so I can always work with that. For loyal customers, I just tell them, I'm like, look, Lisa, I have 5 minutes before my next appointment. I know that you want ThermoFit. I have it in my cart for you. I just need to call you to get your information. Can I call you right now?
Wow. so forward. I love it. And getting on the phone. That's another thing that, you know, it
Yeah,
can.
messaging, y'all, oh man, messaging is literally taking you 3 weeks compared to 5 minutes.
So you're getting right on the phone, like if they were to like a ThermoFit post or they were to comment on a
Yes.
ThermoFit post, you're like messaging them, can I call you real quick?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, perfect. Again, so simple. And you just don't think, because we're just so used to like messaging, or that's just what we turn to because that's what can feel comfortable sometimes. But this isn't supposed to feel comfortable. And I think that's what you'll eventually learn, that when you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and just know, like, I know that some of you probably are like, oh my God, this girl is crazy. But just know that not every single person is going to, like, do that. Like,
Right.
you might have to, like, read people a little bit. Like, this one girl, I did the same thing that I normally do with the FaceTime, and she was just, like, kept kind of, like, throwing me off. Like, she would, like, schedule it and then reschedule it. And I was like, okay, girl, well, just let me know, and I can just send you over some information. So I sent her one of my best potential distributor videos, and she's like, okay, I'm ready to sign up. And she had to learn that way. Like, she could not get on the phone with me. It wasn't her thing. And that's fine.
Well, I mean, and I try to remember this too, like if we're nervous getting on the phone or we're nervous getting on a FaceTime, why should we expect someone who isn't even, you know, putting themselves in that position to be like, yeah, I'll jump right on with you.
Right.
So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be able to read people a little bit. I like that. Yeah. So I know you mentioned that you're doing more parties. Is that where you would say most of your enrollments are coming from now? Or like I remember back in March, you were doing a lot of host to post or tagging people in your posts. And then I see your team do a lot of like the opportunity events. So is that really fruitful for you guys? Is that pulling in a lot of enrollments, or what's working the best right now?
Working the best is messaging people right now. I haven't had a party this month, or I think I had one at the beginning of November that went really well. Every single time I have a party, like, it's a surefire way to get 400 in BV. Like, I'm signing every single person that is sitting in there that has $100 on the system, like every single person, because not only do I have my results, but like I get to talk to them about it. You know, they want it. They already want it, but they want somebody that cares about them. They want somebody, they want to see it. They want to feel it. They want to look at the products. They want to see how it's packaged. That they love that. So just know that when you do have a party and you can go in there confidently, and you can, you know, do your thing. Like, that is where you're going to sign loyal customers. I just personally, with the holidays, have not had any parties this month, but as soon as January comes around, I definitely am. But I think that messaging, I did stray away from messaging for a little bit because there again, I'm human. I have fear of rejection. I almost like let it overwhelm me sometimes, because when I sit down to message people, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, gosh, I don't want to be told no 50 times a day. But I know that's what it's going to take. So here lately, I've just been like, you know, I really want to make $16,000 a month, and I really want it more than I don't want to send these messages. So I'm going to send these messages, and, you know, I'm going to send them at night before I go to bed. I'm going to make sure that when I'm tired of messaging people, I'm going to message 15 more people, and I know that it will pay off. So I've had a lot of seeds planted. I know my harvest is coming.
Perfect. I love that. That's so good. Okay, so now this isn't really a question. It's like a finish the sentence type deal. So my business would tank if I didn't blank, blank, blank every single day. So what are the vital things that you do for your business every single day without fail that you know for certain if you weren't doing, or if you stopped doing, it would be like a crapshoot?
I'm going to say 2 things because I feel like it was a big aha for me. So I pray every single day for my business and over my family and over my team members. Now, people all the time are like, oh, I pray for my business. Yeah, I pray for my business. I pray for my team. I pray for my teammates, and I pray, you know, I pray. But then they forget the working part. And I feel like it's normal. It's normal to put your complete trust in God and then forget that God is giving you the strength and the ability to do this and to do this for your family. Here's the opportunity. You do have to work at it. And so I pray and I just work. Like, I just work. I'm doing my 6 splits every single day. And believe me, there are days that I don't. Like, I'm not perfect. I will never, ever claim that I am perfect. I'm just not. And some days I have to unplug but I never unplug more than 24 hours because I know there are people out there that need me. There is a single mom right now sitting somewhere that is going to see my post maybe tomorrow or maybe next month or maybe a year from now, and she needs me. She needs me. So I'm going to work my business every single day so she can see me and she can see this opportunity. So I pray and I work, and those are the things that I do for my business that I know are work that are going to create an income for me, my family, and my team.
I love that. And it's that level of self-discipline, like you said, getting that 6 list done. And it's not going to be, you're going to have times, it's like you're human. Let yourself unplug. I think that's something a lot of people forget, especially in the beginning, and you can spin your wheels and get so burnt out that way. So you're right.
I want to say like one thing though, like about the whole working and the whole, I just told you guys that I unplug, especially when people are new. I feel like it's so easy to take a break when you're brand new. Like you're just like, okay, I'm not going to post today. I need some time. Okay. Then another 24 hours goes by, and you're liking all these posts. You're doing half of your 6 lists. You're doing the things that are easy on your 6 list first. And then suddenly you just dwindle down until you're not doing anything for your business. Now I want to put this in perspective for you guys, because let's just say that you are a hairstylist. Okay. You have this amazing shop. You've spent a lot of money on your shop. You've spent a lot of time on your shop. And then all of a sudden one day that you decide that you're so good that you only have to be open on Monday. Okay. And you're not open any other times than Monday from like 8 to 10 or something like that. Who is going to go find another hairdresser? I'm going to go find another hairdresser because that hairdresser is not open and she does not conform to my needs. Okay. There are people on social media right now. I'm not saying go work 24 hours a day, but there are people, watching you to see how consistent you are. I have people that I messaged my first week of It Works. Y'all, I sent so many messages. But my first week of It Works, the week that I was so bummed that I'd been told no, like this week have messaged me, and I can see this long message that I sent them telling them that I had joined It Works. And they were watching me for the whole year and a half. And they were like, oh, I've been watching you post. I think I'm ready to join. I think I'm ready. I was like, really? You're ready after a year and a half? Did it take you that long to know that you need ThermoFit? But they did. They did. So it's funny, just know that nobody's asking you to work 24 hours a day. Nobody's asking you to take time away from your family, but just know that it's so easy to unplug, but know what you want out of your business and then link it up to what you're doing for your business and then make the perfect storm. Like there are times that I have to put my phone away. There are times where I'm going to put my phone on silent and I'm going to play with my daughter. I'm going to, be with my husband. And then there are times that I'm going to sit down and work my business. I treat this business like it is my full-time job because I want a full-time income.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. I love it. That's awesome. All right. So now how are you inspiring and encouraging your team to take these steps in their business every day to make sure that they're, praying and working?
So this is actually like one of my weaknesses. I'm a very red leader. And I feel like sometimes I lack in communication, and I have told my team that. I share with my team my weaknesses. I never want them to feel like I'm superior to them. Like I want them to feel like they're my family. So I tell them, I've gone live multiple times on my team page crying and telling them I'm sorry because the past month has been crap for me and I haven't been communicating. I haven't been the leader that I wanted to be. So for me, being the best leader that I possibly can be is just leading by example. I'm never going to expect my team to enroll 3 distributors and 4 loyal customers every single month if I'm not doing it. So if you're not leading by example, you're not leading from the front that way, you will see your team drop off. You will see it. And so this is one of my hardest things. I still work on it every single day, but it's one of the things that I know if I'm not the top enroller every single month, we have a problem. I am not working hard for this and I don't deserve this if I'm not my top enroller.
I love that. I think that was something I needed to hear tonight. Thank you for that. It makes complete sense. You cannot expect from your team what you're not doing yourself.
It's hard. It's hard because you guys, I've lost my diamond rank before. I think it was 2 months into having Diamond, I lost it the third month in. And I buckled to my knees and I had two options. Okay. I was not being the leader. I was not enrolling. All of a sudden I wasn't completing my steps of success. Who knows when the last time that I had talked to my main leaders on my team, truthfully. And all of a sudden I saw my whole thing that I had worked for so long crash down in front of me. And I saw my paycheck. It was $599. And I looked at Hunter and I was like, how the heck are we going to survive off this? I had two choices. I could have quit and I could have gone back to this old life, or I could work my butt off and show my team what I'm worth and what I can do for them. And I work for my team. My team doesn't work for me. I work for my team, and that's been the way it is day one. If you aren't working for your team and if they're working for you, you got it backwards. But you have two choices. You can either quit when it gets hard, or you can work really, really hard for what you want. And I've seen everything crumble to the ground before. So I know.
My goodness. And that's normal too, you guys. Like, the business has seasons. Sometimes things are going to fall apart, and that's what makes you the leader that you are. I mean, my journey was it took so much longer for me than, like, your journey happened so much quicker than mine. And I used to be one of those why me people. Like, I joined a team of leaders who saw success really, really quickly. And I was so excited to learn from these people. So I was like, why did it take me 8 months to get executive, 9 months to get Ruby, a whole nother year? My 20-month mark was when I hit Diamond. And it's like, it's just sometimes things continuously fell apart for me, but like, I'm a kick-ass leader now because of it. I have confidence in the way that I can lead my team because of the things that we go through. So I think
I have one question.
Yeah.
I have one question for you. Mm-hmm. Is it not worth it? It took you 20 freaking months to get to Diamond. That time passed anyway, didn't it?
Yeah, it was worth everything. And I can tell you, because I came into this business with such a strong why, and I kept it at the forefront of my business, my vision only gets bigger and bigger. And in my 28 months, I have not missed, even the time I got a 19-hour flu, have not missed a single day of posting. And that's why, my business has been open since the minute I clicked join. And that's why it's been worth it every step of the way. I've made so many connections and the friendships, and I've seen so many people come in and out, and you just learn so much from people. It has been 100% worth it.
I love that so much. Like, I love to hear from people. Yeah, it took me 20 months to go Diamond, because I see so many people who have so much potential quit before they see the fruits of their labor. And the thing is about that, they don't realize that time is going to be passing anyway. So if it took you 24 months to get a Diamond paycheck, which is $2,000 freaking dollars from your phone, is it not worth it to stay in this business for a year and work your tail off? Like, that time is going to pass anyway. Like, I love that you said that.
I mean, that was literally my first comment in my paycheck. It took me 20 months. So don't give up. Do not give up. Right. So now we're coming into, this is what completely changed everything for me. We're coming into conference season. Last year was, I think, both of our first time at conference. It changed everything for me. I went with Diamond 48 days later, March 31st. So I left conference with a fire in my belly. So what was that conference experience like for you, and how did it change your business? And why is it important, like, coming up on a new year too, and coming up on conference season, to, like, why is now not the time to slow down?
So I want to say this right, because I want you guys to understand the importance of what I'm about to say. I was coming off a slow season this time last year. And I will be honest, right now is my slow season. I'm not having the enrollments that I know that I'm capable of. Am I working just as hard? Yes, I'm working just as hard. But I was coming off this slow season last year, and I just told myself, I'm going to hang on until conference. I've already bought my conference ticket. Like, I know that I can do this deep down in my heart. I know that my family is worth it. My why is bigger than what people say, or, I was going through a lot at that this time last year. And I told myself, I am going to work harder than I've ever worked leading up to conference. And, I'm going to wear that diamond little necklace so proud. And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to meet the people that I've been wanting to meet for so long. People who have literally changed my life. And there is going to be so much potential when the new year comes. And I just told myself, these positive affirmations. Not every single day, not every single week, not every single month is going to be the easiest. Okay. You're going to go through really hard times. I've seen the floor of this business pretty much. And so I knew that when I worked really, really hard, harder than I've ever worked leading up to conference, that it would pay off after conference. I knew that I had a ton of potential and that my name was written all over Double Diamond. Like I just wanted it so bad. And you guys will see when you hang on and you are consistent, and January rolls around, you will see the fruits of this labor. There are seasons. So if you're working, you will really see it. Your potentials list will come. But the feeling going into conference, we didn't have the money to go, even though we had just gone diamond. We had a ton of stuff to pay, like everybody does. And I think I paid for my conference ticket and fast starts. We both did. We didn't have the money to go. We luckily had somebody who had like points at a hotel, so we were able to stay there for free. We brought our two main leaders, a diamond leader that I have now. She was not even a ruby. And we brought her and her husband, and then a girl who wasn't even an executive yet, who is now a ruby about to go. She's boxed for double diamond. And then a girl who's not in the business anymore. And I want to tell you my feelings going into this company, this conference, because I had been to other conferences before, and I don't know. So I didn't know what to think. I went in and immediately, like, you get this rush, like this, like, I mean, your heart is like beating out of your chest, your palms are sweaty, and you just have this stupid smile on your face. Like, I am so ready for this. You can hear the music. You can feel the energy. Every single person in the room has the same mindset as you do. They want more. And there's something so powerful about that. And our company is so Christian based. So I could just feel God, like, in that room when I walked in. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I am like, so like, I am so ready. And I just listened to every single word that came out of those leaders' mouths who were on the stage. And I remember looking over to my girl who is now my diamond, and she just had this like unsure look on her face, and I'll never forget. I just reached over and like grabbed her on the hand, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And the bonuses came out. Okay, the bonuses had just been announced, and she just looked unsure, and I was like, "What the heck? Snap out of it! What is going on?" And she was like, I don't know if I don't know if I can go diamond. I was like, you get down there. Like, we are going diamond. We are going back to the freaking hotel. We are going diamond, and you are going to be a diamond. Okay. So then we prayed, we worshiped, we got to talk to these amazing leaders. We got to see our sign, like the energy, you guys, the energy. I can't even explain it. That is the most amazing part about conference, is just the energy, the feeling that you get, the being so pumped up. And if you can't get to conference, sell some freaking wraps and get to conference. That's all I have to say, because 48 days after, I went double diamond. And you guys, I prayed to God for double diamond. I prayed to God, and I was like, I'm going double diamond. This is my month. I knew in March, I was like, this is my month. This is my month. I had signed 16 loyal customers and like 10 distributors. And it was the 25th, and I was 5,900 GV away on the 25th when all the numbers ran around. My husband didn't think I could do it. My upline was unsure because she thought I was going to kill myself doing it. But I told myself, I was like, I sit right here on this floor and I'll cry and I'm going to pray to God. And then my mind started turning in a different way, and I remembered everything that I learned at conference. And I just had this insane amount of courage. And I know without conference, I never would have been able to do that. I signed 73 loyal customers, finished the month with 14 distributors, and went double diamond. And I still was able to help other people outside of my chart promote. So don't tell me that conference won't do something to you. So conference is so incredible. You guys have to get there.
Yes, I'm so excited. I literally I can't wait. I seriously can't wait. I had the time of my life, and I went with one distributor. She was my first distributor that ever signed up with me, my best friend, and she still hasn't even reached a rank in the business. And even she'll tell you, like, get to conference. Like, it changed so much for her. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like personal growth, business growth. It's just, it all happens there. So
yeah,
I
forgot to say that personal growth. You don't really I don't think you actually realize like how much you have to grow until you're around other people who think in a way that you didn't even know that they could think. You're
Oh my
like,
God.
how did you think of that?
Yep.
Like when I met Ronnie B for the first time, I was like, oh my God, this is her.
Oh, that was me with Alyssa, like total dork. Like,
I mean, same
out.
here with Alyssa and same here with Aaron. Like I was like total fangirling.
I think Alyssa looked at me and said, you need some confianza or something like that. And I was like, you don't even know. I was a mess. It's just so, but it's incredible to be around people who have changed their own lives with this, and you're here in their presence. And it's like, I tell people this, and it's so funny. Like, and I think a lot of people like who aren't in the business think like this. My husband joked with me until I got a picture with Alyssa that she wasn't real. He kept saying, you're going to go there. There's not going to be anything there. And I had been in the business over a year now. We're talking a year and a half. And he's like, you're going to go. There's not going to be anyone there. And she's probably not even a real person. Never made a dime in her life. And I'm like, you watch. And we still joke he's going to be that person who, like, I'll make it into the Millionaires Club and, like, they'll hand him the microphone and he'll be like, I finally believe. Like, it's going to take $1 million. With some people, that's what it's going to take. So just get out there and do it. Just show them you can do it, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much for hopping on here. I think everyone has been well poured into. I can't wait to, like, rewatch this and jot down a ton of notes. You're incredible. Thank you so much.
You are incredible. Thank you guys so much for having me on. Thank you guys for listening, and let's work. Bye.
Yes, let's do it. Bye.